again. I was live earlier, but I decided I wanted to do another live today. I'm spoiling y'all. I'm giving y'all 2 in the same day. Might make it 3 if I go live for some gaming later. I don't know. We'll see. I haven't done that in, let me see, did I go live? Yeah, it's been about a day or so that I put a little gap in the gaming thing. I am Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, and president of the ONYXCON Foundation. Welcome, welcome. I try to remember to always introduce myself because I get a little comfortable with thinking I know I have my repeat audience that comes around, you know what I'm saying? But I do want to shout out to people that y'all know. All my supporters, my real ones, my monetization nation as I call them, that's my subscribers. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are the reason for the season. Y'all are the ones that we do it for. You know what I'm saying? The people who appreciate. The ones who appreciate, don't go where you tolerate it, go where you celebrate it. You feel me? Say that again. I didn't make that one up. I just like it, so I repeat it. Say, don't go where you tolerate it, go where you celebrate it. That's a way to live. That's a way to live. All right? All right. So, I was, in my last live, I was talking about some tactics and skills and techniques that YouTubers can use to increase their productivity and the way they look at this process of getting monetized. And I had seen some content with a fellow YouTuber who I really appreciated her perspective and how she was talking about do your stuff more for impact than income. Yes, we all need income, but when you lead with impact, you're gonna have a legit channel with legit followers, people who gonna always, they ain't gonna be fair weather friends, they're gonna be friends for life, you know what I'm saying? People gonna really support your channel, watch your content forever, not just in a phase or whatever. They're gonna really support you. That's like, yeah, that is the way to live. Again, it's back to the motto that I always say: respect, power, money, in that order. You don't go money, power, respect. That was the mistake of Little Kim on the Locks track. She had it wrong. She had it wrong. It didn't get right till Prodigy of Mobb Deep on his album, his last album, I think, with Jay Electronica said, respect, power, money, in that exact order. Just like that. Just like that. This is the way. And I'm a Mandalorian, so there you go. This is the way. So, let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about it. I wanted to get into one about other YouTubers, and I'm not going to name no names because that's another thing. I realized that we're in a unique place in YouTube history where those who've been monetized, those who've had a little bit of fame, some people have, you know, some people have brought their drama in real life to YouTube. And there's a channel, there's a couple of channels that are for YouTube travelers, especially. That's their niche. That's what they focus on. As we say here at ONYXCON, we're multi-niche. I don't have one niche. I travel. When I travel, I do, you know, things I can't do at home, but still things I would do when I'm home. Like I still hike, I still fish, but I do it on a grander scale because I'm on vacation mode. I'm there to explore something I've never seen before, do something I've never done, go places I've never gone, possibly had a chance to see again, maybe, but maybe could return, but I'm gonna do it to the best I can. You know what I mean? We do gaming content, we do reviews of comic books and games and all that type of stuff, because that's what we started as a Comic Con. All right, ONYXCON, feel me? We do movie reviews, etc., all that kind of stuff. If you're new here, I'm only explaining this for you. All my other folk, hold tight. We're gonna get to it. Y'all know how I roll. I'm big on respect. I said respect, power, money. I gotta respect my new ones. They might be new up in here. I gotta give them the lay of the land so they understand where they at, what they gonna be like, and why they can get comfortable and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and understand they're gonna always get some flavor up in here. ONYXCON style. We do style, and I don't just mean how you dress. I mean how you living. Your spaces, where you dwell, where you want to dwell, you know, ambiance, right? All of that. It's art life. Today I posted something a little bit of, every now and then I remember, I said, man, I need to show my people this. This is If you're a foodie, you're going to love the channel for that sometimes, because I occasionally do little cook show type vibes. And I showed the meal of the day. It's Taco Tuesday. I did deer. He always catches a deer every year, harvest. Had a beautiful deer. You know what I'm saying? If you ever had deer meat, if you like red meat, that's the best red meat you can eat, I promise you. It's lean. As you worry about lean and fat, it don't get no leaner. I'm telling you, deer, it's where it's at. And you want some energy? Deer. If you like me, you can't overeat it though. Because like it runs in my family with gout and stuff, so you know what gout is, you can't overeat it. Because you end up with cramps and stuff. I had a little thing with that one time. I was getting too happy with the deer. I was eating it like 3 days in a row, boy. I started getting that arthritic. I was like, wait a minute, whoa, what the hell? Hey, I ate it all by the third day. Oh, you know, that's my people who relate to that. I ain't talking to you. But if you know about gout, you respect what I just said. You know, you have to be in, hey, moderation. Everything in moderation, they say, right? The rule applies, right? So anyway, I was talking about people on YouTube that get a little fame, and some folks start acting up. They bring their life drama to the web, and it's like, you know, if somebody was a cocky, really anything like that in real life, they act like that on the web when they get a little bit of juice and stuff. So there was a guy, like I said, I'm not naming no names because I'm not trying to add to the nonsense, and I can see this going nowhere good for something that I observed. Disappointed in the person whose channel it was on, because I admire this person. I've talked about them before, so if you want to hear me say that one name, yeah, I've said their name before in nothing but positive, and that's where I want to leave it, because that's how I want to remember them. You know, that's how I want to remember their channel. I don't want to remember them doing something I couldn't agree with. I want to remember the person I did mostly agree with. Ain't nobody perfect. I don't expect it. I'm not out here looking for perfection in nobody. I just want to find enough likeness in the mind state of those who I choose to spend time with, enjoying their content, that I can trust that they're going to say and do and move in a way that that aligns with my own ethics and responsible conduct. You know what I'm saying? But that's hard to find, because only you are you. You know what I mean? So again, I don't expect perfection out of no damn body. I wouldn't want y'all to expect it out of me. Everybody ain't going to agree with where I'm at and what I'm on. I mean, because I express myself on what is now these days, you know, because, oh, you don't talk politics. It ain't even politics no more. I'm sorry. We in bizarro world. We got to address the issues. I say it all the time. I jokingly talk around it without getting too blatant. But if you know, you know, and it's easy to find out. If you're American, you know what the hell I'm talking about when I say I ain't no MAGA maggot. And I ain't with them chumps. God damn it. And I mean it. I ain't with it. I voted for somebody with 1 K in their name, not 3. Holla if you hear me. Preach! Anyway, so, that's just where I'm at with mine. I don't care. It's just, somebody got to stand on their business. I'm standing the hell on mine. There it is. You can dig it, or I don't even want subscribers who don't have that much enlightenment, intelligence, logic about them to understand why what I just said makes sense. If that frustrates you, this ain't for you. It's just simple. It ain't for you. So another part of why this person's channel that I'm talking about got me a little perturbed is they were interviewing somebody, and I didn't even know who this person was. I just saw, okay, I guess I gotta get into a few details just to also add why it was frustrating. As a black American, this is a black American man, and you're another black American man, you know what I'm saying? That are both, well, one of them is really a prominent YouTuber, and I would consider him legendary, and the other one is just, he got legendary over some BS, quite frankly. I didn't know who the hell he was until this drama had happened, and then, you know, people love BS, so he got famous because of that. I said, wow. But he was the guy who I did admire more. And I'll say this for the record. I still admire what he's accomplished. It's phenomenal. He's a hell of a traveler. He's done a lot of things I would like to do. He doesn't necessarily do them the way I would do them. But again, like I say, I don't expect everybody, ain't nobody gonna move like me but me. So like, if you like the way I travel and the way I speak and what I'm about, follow here and you're gonna get that. If you can tolerate certain things about somebody, you might still check it out, whatever. But so with this brother I'm talking about, and like I said, I still respect him, but I'm just disappointed. And I don't know that I'm gonna keep checking on his channel as much. I don't even know if I'm gonna keep following the channel. It was really that bad to me, because I said, well, damn, if you could interview this guy, what's that say about, an interview is interesting. You got to be careful with interviews. And I do interviews. I'm in that space. I'm in the realm of what people call podcasts. That's another part of ONYXCON. If you don't believe the hype, check out our podcast list. I called it that because everybody calls everything a podcast. We used to just call them ONYXCON exclusives. And I have interviews with all types of legendary people. But when you choose to interview somebody, it's an honor to interview. To be interviewed is an honor. No matter what, it is an interview is an honor. Or it's an acknowledgement of somebody's value to be heard. Like, what is the other purpose of having to listen to someone's interview unless you respect them enough to hear what they got to say? Even when you don't fully agree, you respect them enough to hear what they got to say. But this person's channel is not known for interviews per se. They do those every now and then. And when they do interviews, they tend to be informational with people who are like the guy who I say I admire. They give real information about how to move in the travel space. Booking the hotels, cost of things, the power of the dollar abroad, activities, some fun stuff to do you may not have considered, all that kind of thing. The stuff I actually love about watching travel videos. That's what you get, mostly. So every now and then when he does these interviews, it might be somebody who's a little bit more outspoken and kind of over the top, a little bit more ratchet, which I've always said, ratchet is not a culture, but it's to the point. Let me give y'all the formula again. The formula to how the culture gets established is this. And yes, I made this. I created this. As conscious beings, and all living energy has its own form of consciousness, but through the human lens of things, right? We all have choices. We can make decisions. Our decisions can become habits. As an individual, you create a habit from a decision. You made a decision, you did something, you had an action. That action, for whatever reason, you want to repeat it, it becomes a habit. I have a habit of being on YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I am a YouTuber. It was just a habit of posting content. I like this content being up here. I like sharing what I got to share with the world. It's a habit of it, right? Me going live almost every day becomes a tradition. The habit becomes a tradition. I got the power to break the tradition at any point. There are going to be some days when I'm not going to be able to be live, but that's okay. I still set a standard where people come to expect it a little bit. I never said you can always guarantee I'm going to go live every day, but anybody who's paying attention would notice, oh, okay, he does that a lot. It becomes a tradition. People who appreciate the tradition might like it enough to not only participate, but decide to imitate that tradition. And then, oh boy, you got a culture. You got a culture. So that is why when people say, we for the culture, I say, well, y'all go on and do that, because I'm for the cultures, plural. And I mean that. Because every time I want to stand with somebody in solidarity and say, yeah, man, I'm with this culture, they're going to do something like what this person who disappointed me did. And I realize they are an individual. They got every right to do that. They're not living for me. They don't even know who I am. You know what I'm saying? They're not living for me. It's not about me. They're going to do what they want to do, and that's okay. They got a right to do that. So if I want to see something different, I got to be the difference. And I am the difference. I am the difference. I already got my own thing. I already got my own claims to fame and things. I'm just not famous on YouTube yet. In Atlanta, in the art world, say my name in the right room and everybody going to say, oh, Joseph, that's the man. They know who I am. They respect me. I got lineage. I got heritage. I got traditions. I have a culture. It's called ONYXCON. This is the culture. We got our own thing. Parts of ONYXCON are hip-hop. Am I everything that people claim is hip-hop? No. Smoking weed is hip-hop. I don't smoke weed. I guess I ain't that kind of hip-hop. We like to turn up and get drunk at the club. I don't even hit the club a lot. And when I'm there, I ain't there to drink. I don't drink. I don't drink liquor. Drink plenty of water. I like to add that to it too, because I don't like that just the word drink means liquor. Off that. I drink. I just don't drink liquor. And if I were to even sip liquor, 99.9% of the time, that would be in the presence of a lady on a date, and it's her thing, and she got some wine, and she said, oh, try it, baby. I might sip it just to taste. But that ain't my thing. That ain't my thing. I got my own culture. Where it coincides, like I say, this is plural. It's not one way. So it's cultures, but they do coincide. I'm a hip hopper. I love hip hop. Not all of it, what people say is it, but a great deal of it has been a chunk of my life. And I'm almost as old as it, meaning I lived through it. It's part of my generation, my time, my essence, my cultural experiences. So yeah, for the cultures. But anyway, so this guy did this interview with this guy who got into an altercation as basically a cyber bully. That's what he was. I mean, a lot of people in the comments, I was looking at the comments, a lot of people were saying, man, this dude, why would you interview this dude? He's an idiot. He ain't even articulate. He really isn't. He doesn't speak well. He's one of these cats that stumbles over his words, sounds like he doesn't have a full education in a formal sense. He might be street smart, might be, everything. There's different types of smart. But he ain't got that worldly intelligence. Even though he's able to move worldly, yes, he's living abroad. And, he is in, I don't know how many other countries he's been to, but he settled in one particular country that is super popular for a lot of travelers. And this guy that I say I admire some of his content, he frequents that place. So that's why they set up the interview, and I see how it all came together. But another gentleman who I follow his channel, and for the most part, I'm cool with where he's at. So and until otherwise, because you just never know when they're going to do something to be so human as to disappoint us. And be like, damn, nah, not you too, man. But hey, people are people. I let them be people. That's at the end of every day. You got the right to be a person as much as me. So if they do some shit that I ain't with, it is what it is. That's their life. That ain't mine. It's just disappointing because, it ain't even as simple as putting people on a pedestal. Once you think you found people who, yeah, okay, I can resonate with your energy. You get comfortable and you don't want to think you'd ever have to abandon them. But it's okay, because every now and then you're going to let some folk go. You're going to be like, you know what, this don't serve me no more. Yeah, this don't serve me no more. I got to let this go. I can't rock with this. I don't know what they doing. Wait a minute, why would he with that? Oh, not you with that, bruh. Not you. Yeah. So basically, he interviewed this cat who had gotten into an altercation with another these are grown-ass men, by the way. Let me make that very clear. All of these folks, I don't think any of them, with the exception of one of them, is older than me. I understand when this incident happened because it went viral and all this. It's the kind of bad news you don't want to hear, but you're going to hear because everybody's talking about it in that circle. And like I said, I watched their content. Or at least the two guys, I watched their content. The other random dude, I didn't even know who he was. But basically, apparently, this guy was trolling. Here we go again, why I said that trolling mess is not the way. It's just, I wish YouTube would just completely make it where, like, look, if you don't follow somebody, you can't say nothing. And when I say follow, I mean, you got to be a subscriber for over a month. And you have to have a picture. We have to know that it's you. Like, all of that, we at a time where I think that is important. I would be a different person some years ago and say, oh man, that's breaking our civil rights. That's getting into people's privacy. You don't have to show your image online. Well, then don't be online, damn it. Because if you're going to be commenting and talking ish and starting drama, you need to show your freaking face and be ready for what comes with it. Or just leave that alone. Because you don't need to be doing that no way. The bottom line is all of that culture of trolling and all that stuff, like the fact that it's allowed is the only reason these types of things happen. But like I say, so one of these fools was trolling this other man. It's like I said, grown man, feeling like he had to protect himself and his family and stuff. He got tired of the BS and started to respond, because he's the type not to typically even respond to that kind of stuff. But I guess he got frustrated because he's seeing the familiar nutball in his comments and stuff. And like I say, this is exactly why I don't even allow comments. Unless you are a serious subscriber, supporter, And wait till we get monetized. You think it's Fort Knox around this mug. Wait till I get monetized. Oh, it's all the way on. I'm going to have a list. List like Santa Claus, checking it twice. Only the ones that's nice. That's it. If I don't know you or know you cool as shit, you're done. You'll never say a word. Ever. Because what happens is this man, I almost said something that would have gave away who it is. And I'm not trying to do that. Like I said, I'm not trying to be on that. I'm just trying to make a point about the energy and how it's foul to be this way. So I want to say one thing, the one gentleman who defended himself in the comments, I wish he hadn't have done that, but I support him and I know he's a good dude. So I don't see him as a problem in the equation. I see him as just simply getting fed up as any grown man would at a certain point. Be like, yo, man, are you, like, should I take you serious? Like, are you like really trying to cause me physical life harm? Like, because guess what? I will do what I got to do to protect myself, is what, in more or less words, is what came to it. And this fool, because they're in the same country, it was just a matter of time before they would have crossed paths. And so the one guy who got fed up with him kind of found the other dude, like, you talking about me? Well, what's up? And all of this got on a security camera. There was words exchanged, and they ended up in a physical brawl. Now, people put this on, of course, anytime there's a damn fight, people want to highlight that more than what led to it. So a lot of people were so busy making jokes about the fact that the guy he confronted, first of all, was a much bigger dude. He didn't care. He was like, you just not going to be bullying me and interrogating me and disrespecting me. So the guy came for him. And for what I never even saw, I saw like a clip of it on somebody else's channel, somebody talking about it. I almost didn't want to see it. Some people are like, oh man, I want to see the whole thing. I don't even want to see that, man. I don't want to get my blood pressure up looking at something that should have never even happened. When there's so many other real fights in the world that people never fight. Real conflicts that never get resolved. Real results that keep communities ass backwards for centuries. Real things going to hell because people damage each other and make each other inequipped to fight the real enemy when it shows up. So I didn't even want to see this mess. I didn't even want to see this mess. But what disappointed me, like I said, is I thought this whole thing was dead. I thought, okay, this dude who was the cyberbully dude, after that, okay, you got your little bit of fame, okay, on some street levels, street urchin, low frequency, totally irrelevant level, you could spend the rest of your life on those types of podcasts and things like that and talk about how, man, you saw I almost, that dude caught a fade. You know, I'm so sick and tired of hearing young generation, old generation, all these people talking all this, street slang, talking about fade. I never get the first time I heard it. I was thinking, why they keep talking about a haircut? Because from my generation, wasn't nobody saying that. That's some new stuff. That's some new stuff. And all street slang is not universal in America, people, for my international people who don't know. There's territorial slang. There's old school Atlanta slang, old school, like you can literally put it in eras. Like there was stuff people said in the 70s in Atlanta, 80s in Atlanta, 90s in Atlanta, early 2000s in Atlanta, now in Atlanta. And then you got to break it down by age demographic. Folk as old as I am, these young ass kids in their 20s and teens, yeah, they speak a whole nother language. They speak a whole nother language. What's funny is they borrow terms from our era and then they create their own. But they don't understand that inflection in voice and everything else, we know what they talking about, and it ain't hard to find out. It ain't hard to do research. Nonsense, which gives a bad image to black men going abroad, because people already have this street gangster gutter, everybody from the ghetto, everybody from a bunch of fighting and criminal activity based lifestyle people, which is total BS. It's not everybody's reality. Again, not for the culture, because there's for the cultures. Like, that don't apply to everybody's existence and how they move. But if you keep pushing this narrative, if you keep honoring, like I say, what an interview can do, a fool, and making it seem like they're worthy of an interview. It's like when, and I will say this name because I don't like his energy, and he said some things that after that I was done. It was like, it wouldn't matter how much else he said that made sense, Because that's why I always as they say, I ain't religious, but you know how religious folks say, the devil will give you a little bit of the truth and then tell you a lie. That ain't nothing but the absolute facts. That's real. Evil energy will give you a little bit of truth to link you. Oh, okay, I can trust them. That's true. And then they'll push the lie into you. So, it's like when my man Cam Newton interviewed on his podcast, whatchamacallit? Oh gosh, what's his name? I almost don't even want to say the name. Charleston White. That was one of the worst interviews I ever. And I admire Cam enough when even he's at his worst. It's still I like Cam in general. He's a soul searcher. He's always trying to figure out. He's extremely intelligent. He ain't no slouch. Cam is super, super smart. And he's funny enough. He's charismatic enough. And yeah, his style can be over the top sometimes with the dress code. But hey, he give you something to talk about. Y'all still talking about him. He the millionaire still. He budgeting his stacks properly. He living the best life. He may not have some of the best decisions in how he's moving according to whatever somebody's ethics are, values of family, and how he does his structure. But so what? That's his. He doing it. He kicking it. I respect him. And I enjoy his show. So I watched that one like I watch a lot of his interviews. But I was disappointed that he had even gave somebody of that level of energy a platform. Because every time you get them kind of interviews, it boosts people's ability to be famous and notable. Look what happened with Cat Williams being on Shay Shay. And that was worthy. I like Cat. Cat's hilarious. I don't always like every bit of how he approaches comedy, but again, it ain't about a complete picture for nobody, y'all. Because whatever I don't like is just the part of them that ain't enough like the best parts of me. And that's how we all really are. When people I don't like that just says there's something about them don't remind you enough of yourself so you don't like it. I get it. You better love yourself like that. That's cool. But if you need to work on yourself and whatever you think is so great is actually a problem, you need to work on that too. And I'm self-analytical, so I'm aware of when that's an issue too, right? But anyway, so this interview again, it was overseas in this place, and the guy who, like I say, whose channel I have a subscription, have been a subscriber for years, that disappointed, he done gave this platform to this dude I don't think deserved the interview at all. And a lot of people in the comments obviously could agree. Which I was surprised, because at first I didn't think I thought, he's got a strong fandom, so I just knew they're going to be with him. If I make a comment, I'm going to be the one dude that everybody coming for, like, oh man, shut up, you ain't, who you ain't, I already knew, so I was like, ugh. All I said was, I said his name, I put like ... and I was like, bruh, why? I just said, why? Like this? This what you doing? Like, really, bro? Like, why this guy, man? Why would you get this dude a platform? We was all forgetting about this. Like, I completely have forgotten. I never knew his name, never committed it to memory. I couldn't even tell you right now. I purposely do that when I see a certain kind of energy. I was like, I don't even want to remember this name. I would know the face if I saw him. Like, yeah, that's that guy. But I didn't even remember the name. And I was like, yo, why the hell did he give this guy more weight? Everybody had forgotten about him. He wasn't nobody for a minute. Now you done put him back in the light. Damn, you that star for numbers? What's going on? You the man. You already got numbers, bro. Why you doing this? Why you doing this, man? Why you doing this? That's how I felt about it, right? So, the absolute worst part about it, like I started this thing of saying, I'm not a fan of the MAGA maggots. I don't like it. I ain't with the chumps, right? And he had on a red cap turned backwards, and it's funny that he had it backwards. I thought to myself, did he tell him to do that, thinking that was going to not be still noticeable because the cap was turned backwards, but it still had... It was a snapback, and y'all know I don't like snapbacks. That made it even worse to me. I was like, damn, and it's a snapback. Oh, God. If you're a fan of my channel, you're already laughing with me because you get that. But anyway, he had a damn snapback on, the little plastic band across your head with the big arc, and right at the top of the arc, it's got the chump. And I said, God dang, the red cap had the audacity to have embroidered on the side the numbers of the two different presidencies. I said, oh my God, this dude is full throttle. And I'm like, and this is who you interviewing? What you trying to tell us, man? Is this you too? Why would you have him on there even wearing that? You could have asked me, man, okay, I know that's how you move, but you know, whether if he didn't agree with that, but he still wanted to interview for the clicks, which still don't make no sense, wouldn't you tell him, hey man, take that cap off, bro. I don't want to turn away some of my viewers. But obviously you don't care. And honestly, if you don't care, and if you are standing on that, I prefer when people say it. That's why I say it every time I can in my covert ways here. And the only reason I'm being covert is because I know the damn channel I'm on might be on that. So I don't want them to start blocking my videos because, oh, you know, he's talking against the evil empire. He's one of them damn rebels. He's with Skywalker and them. Yeah, I sure shit am. You know what I'm saying? I'll come in dressed like Vader, but I'm fighting for loot. You better understand. Yeah, hell yeah. Star Wars, what? Told you I'm a Mandalorian, and this is the way. So I was like, yo, man, I ain't feeling this. It's like this brother went over. He done turned Sith. Like straight up Sith. Like, damn, bro. You interviewing Darth Sidious up in this motherfucker. I was like, what the hell is this? So that was disappointing, y'all. That was disappointing. And because it was like, you know, I'm thinking to myself, like, I actually like this dude's content. He goes to a lot of cool places I want to go. And the best part about his channel, even though he's run of the mill with some of the stuff they all do, he's a clubber, he's a drinker, he probably a smoker too, but he don't do that on camera. He got enough sense not to be blowing all that in the camera and acting like that's not gonna, you know, take down your numbers to a certain degree for a certain part of your audience. But I know he drinks, and I mean everybody drinks, so he got that, you know, check box, whatever. Almost everybody drinks, not me. So he covers that. He'll go to the club. But the other thing he's always done that I always knew was a part of his situation, but I'm thinking to myself, well, you know, again, to each his own. I don't agree with that, but and I don't agree with it for safety reasons, but he wanted them pay for plays. I've heard him talk about, you know, saying that in his opinion, I don't care what you say, this is, you know, not loosely quoting, not a direct quote, but he said it many times, but he said, you know, a lot of y'all be in the comments and y'all be mad, talking about, you know, man, you a simp, man. Why you going out like a simp and all that conversation because you paying for it. You pay to play. And he said, I don't care who you are. If you dating women, you taking them out. We all got, man. We all got to spend money to get to. He's talking about just the sex element. And I was thinking, okay, so you're literally trying to justify someone who is a professional, as they say, pro, okay? And see, I'm being guarded because I've learned that, yes, there are trigger words on YouTube that when you say some of these words, it can block your content and people think you're promoting things you're not promoting. You're just discussing it. Hello, I'm just discussing it, right? And I'm saying, no, I don't think it's healthy for people from a more privileged country to go to a country less privileged in opportunity and financial gain. You know your dollar is worth more and all this type of stuff. You throwing money around, people can see you got money like that, and you become a target for theft. You become a target for kidnapping. You become a target for all this sleep drink stuff, since y'all got always had these drinks, and you up here, you know, and it goes from just going on vacation and enjoying yourself to you giving advice about, okay, no, so here's how you move. You never leave your drink unattended. And okay, when you get back to your hotel, you got to put all your stuff up in the safe, and you got to do this and this. And I'm listening to all these and he's one of many that says all of these types of videos and gives these types of tutorials on how to do all of this life. That obviously this is a norm for them. It's not just something to kind of do. It's their go-to. This is like, yo, this is it. This is what they mean when they say sex tourism. These guys are literally out here on some pay and play culture. It's not just something that might happen. It's the main objective. And I kind of ignored it for a long time. I kind of ignored it. I just assumed in my mind, I thought, yeah, okay, he's divorced. I can relate to that. I'm divorced. I ain't got no kids. He got kids. fellas be feeling a certain kind of way when they went through that and everything. And then you feel like I ain't got no time to waste and I want to enjoy the rest of all of my days. And I'm with that part all day. But I'm not with by any means necessary. And if your means are paid for play, man, do you understand? Just on a health level, if nobody tries to rob you, if nobody tries to put you to sleep and cut your kidney out while you sleep, because you knock the hell out, or if you don't get kidnapped and held for ransom and all, if none of that happens, just the possibility of the diseases and everything and all that, which is still always, if anybody say, well, hell, all that in America too. Trust me, man, I know. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. It's one of the worst numbers on the map in the U.S., in the world, for STDs and STIs. I understand how serious this thing is. But that's also why, in a legal regard, you ain't got no recourse. Something happened to your ass on a trip. What are you gonna do? I want to sue all the hoes in this country. And they pimps. What you gonna do? What you gonna ever do to get anything? Versus at least, and I'm still not recommending none of this activity. I'm just saying, it just don't make sense, some of this stuff. And then I realized that's part of what this dude is promoting, y'all. It's part of what this dude is promoting. And I can't back that up. And that was almost about to be the reason why I was like, I might have to drop this follow. I don't know. Because he would talk about it every now and then, but I wouldn't have to hear that every time. You know, he would do other stuff that I would more than likely do. And that's why, like I say, I like the content. He would go on adventure travel. He's like, oh, I'm going, inner tubing down a river. Oh, hell yeah, there you go, bro. I'm going out here on this boat. We're going, sightsee and look at the nature. And, oh, man, look at that. That's a caiman over there. That's a crocodile. Oh, that's an alligator. Oh, that's a such and such bird. And, he's a city dude, so he don't be knowing what half the shit is when he said, I'll never get whatever had me laughing so hard. It was a capybara in South America. And him and his boys, he had a team of guys he had brought out, and they on the boat. No, none of them. It was embarrassing, quite frankly, all these black men. Not one of them. I think one finally said it's a capybara. It's like, oh, man, stop sounding like the most juvenile people, man. We're not, but y'all make it look just like that when it's like, if it ain't your lane, just don't be sounding goofy on camera. Like, hey, man, look at that big-ass dog in the water swimming. Like, oh, shut up. No, it's a capybara. If you don't know what it is, just say you don't know what it is, but don't be sounding stupid. Damn. So I was about done right there, but I said, I'm going to hang on, man, because maybe he'll do something else and I'll get a location that I might consider, or, oh, that's a cool beach I didn't even know about, because he's good for that. He's great for that. That's what I follow this channel for. But now I can see the hype is starting to move toward all this other stuff I'm not cool with. So I don't know. I got to go, y'all, but hit the comments. Let me know if you've ever felt that way about somebody's channel. Hell, if you ever felt that way about my channel, I don't care. But if you're going to say something about here, be respectful and just say, in all respect, man, I just prefer when you did this, or I like this about your channel more than that, and I'd like to see more of that. I'll take it that way, but don't be disrespectful now. Please don't. Because I'm so quick. Man, I love that block button. I'll be like, kick out!